April 2nd is D-Day for U.S. tariffs, and every level of Canadian government is bracing themselves for what is thought to be inevitable, yet also unpredictable. In my monthly chat with Ann Lawlor, I asked the mayor what preparations Halton Hills has put in place.
Well, we're doing exactly the same as everyone else is, Jason. Absolutely. We are flying our Canadian flags, and our council put together a resolution way back in January when Trump first started talking about the 51st state and all of that kind of thing. Our council members jumped right on it and actually wrote a resolution, and it was circulated widely. And they even asked me to write a letter to the president to indicate that, Canada wasn't for sale and that we weren't interested. And it reminded him, too, that Halton Hills cherishes the moniker of being Canada's most patriotic town, because we, in Canada's 150th anniversary, we flew Canadian flags all across the town. There were 57,000 of them. And so we wore our hearts on our sleeves, absolutely. So we have revised our purchasing and procurement policies. And so we are highlighting shop local and shop Canadian. We have also abandoned our Amazon accounts. And so that was a little bit of a nuclear reaction. But, purchasing through Amazon supports that huge American company. And by instead shopping local, we're enhancing the fortunes of our local businesses and so forth. So we are absolutely right on board with all of this, and the public wants us to.
Well, of course, supporting Canadian is being talked about a lot now, especially with the federal election going on. But for this interview, I want to harken back to the provincial election for Halton Hills. Councillor Joseph Rosinski was successful in his bid to become an MPP, so that left a vacant seat on council, which is now being filled by Matt Kinbaum. Tell me about how this process came to be, because this is there's some chess pieces going on here for yourself and other councillors.
So before the election even happened, we made a decision that we would appoint the next person in line based on the 2022 municipal election. We would go back to those votes that our residents cast and see who was next in line, and we would seek to appoint that individual to council in order to carry out the balance of the term. And the reason why we did that is because we've got a 4-year term on municipal council. The election was in 2022. So that means that now we just have about 1.5 years left in this term. And the last few months of the term is in kind of election mode. And so we're not doing a lot of decision making. So in fact, if we were to hold another election, a by-election, for replacing that seat, it would be an expense probably in the neighborhood of $50,000, and the person would only be in place for perhaps a year. There would be a time lag on it too. So anyway, all of those reasons, when they were considered, meant that we went with the appointment process. And as it turned out, Joseph Rosinski was successful in his bid for the provincial legislature. And so he's off to Queen's Park. And that means in Ward 2, which is the countryside of Halton Hills, Glen Williams, Norval, and that Limehouse, that area. We now have next on the list was Matt Kinbaum. And Matt has been a very active member of the community. He's been on the library board. He's on the Glen Williams Community Association. He's helped out with the Library on Wheels, member of the Parent Council at Glen Williams School. So he's an all-around, very well connected and involved guy. And so he has now had his first council meeting. We inaugurated him in late March. And so he's hit the ground running. It's just great.